Hi, PerspectiveWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Friday, December 6th. We have a cold frontal system heading into the eastern part of the nation. It will usher in another cold air mass for the upcoming weekend for the mid-Atlantic region in the northeastern part of the nation. And then it turns much milder on Monday and Tuesday. High pressure will shift off the eastern seaboard late in the weekend. That will promote a southwesterly flow of air in the lower part of the atmosphere by the early part of next week, and indeed temperatures should climb up into the 50s, well up into the 50s on Monday and Tuesday in, for example, the DC, Philadelphia, and New York City metro regions. There is a chance of showers on both days. Now, things get pretty interesting by the latter part of Tuesday going into Tuesday night and Wednesday. We'll have a strong cold front dropping southeast from the northern plains to the Great Lakes, and this slow-moving front has to be watched, because anytime you have a slow-moving front kind of getting parallel to the winds in the upper part of the atmosphere, you have to watch for the development of a wave to the south and west. And indeed, there's a chance that a wave will form along the slow-moving cold frontal system, and there will be an influx of colder air. So we'll have to watch for the possibility in the I-95 corridor, especially to the north and west of the I-95 corridor, for rain, perhaps changing to snow late Tuesday night, early Wednesday, as this colder air arrives. Again, a slow-moving front in the Tuesday night, early Wednesday time frame, something we'll have to monitor over the next few days. Let's start off by looking at the current surface map. First of all, high pressure basically in control along the Atlantic seaboard. Cold frontal system starting to move our way. Can be a couple of showers in the I-95 corridor later today into early tonight. Rain showers will climb up most likely to the mid to upper 40s in many spots, maybe even touch 50 degrees in some areas near DC, for example. But this cold front ushers in a colder air mass for the upcoming week, and no doubt will be below normal in terms of temperatures in the I-95 corridor region on Saturday and Sunday, perhaps holding in the 30s in many spots on Saturday afternoon, maybe the low to mid 40s on Sunday afternoon. This high pressure system will control the weather over the upcoming weekend, but then it shifts off the coast by Sunday night and will turn much milder on Monday and Tuesday ahead of that next strong but slow moving cold frontal system. Well, in terms of precipitation this morning, this is the IntelliCast radar map for the U.S. A couple areas I want to point out. First of all, we showed quite a storm system over the eastern Pacific yesterday, and here's some rain starting to approach the California west coast. That system actually becomes an important player that we'll have to monitor over the next few days. The energy from that system will drive all the way down to the south and east. It's down in this part of the country early to middle part of next week that a wave could form along that slow-moving cold frontal system. So we'll have to monitor the movement of that Pacific Ocean storm. There's another wave of energy to the north of there that will also play a big role in the Tuesday-Wednesday time frame. Meanwhile, in the east, some snow along the eastern part of the Great Lakes and rain down across the Ohio Valley. Tends to weaken over the next few hours, but there can be a shower or two of rain in the DC, Philadelphia, New York City corridor later this afternoon into the evening hours. Clearing skies overnight tonight following the passage of this cold frontal system, and again, a cold weekend setting up for the Mid-Atlantic region for the upcoming weekend. Well, now let's walk through last night's zero-Z GFS model run. We're looking at the 500 millibar level. We're looking at vorticity maxima in the atmosphere. This is areas of spin that take place in the upper part of the atmosphere and tends to lead to upward motion, surface low pressure systems, and we'll really focus in on the Tuesday-Wednesday time frame. What are the possibilities here? Let's move forward in time. Again, a cold frontal system comes through tonight, early tonight, in the Mid-Atlantic region, paves the way for a cold but dry upcoming weekend. And then here we go by tomorrow morning. Notice, first of all of this energy out along the west coast of California. And that, again, is associated with that storm system we saw. There's also another wave of energy here showing up by late tomorrow night going into Sunday morning. A wave of energy out here across the northwestern part of the nation, and a second wave approaching the west coast of Africa. That is, those are two important players that we'll have to monitor. Notice again here, there they are. These are the areas that we'll have to watch as this strong cold front slowly moves towards the eastern U.S. in the Tuesday-Wednesday time frame. This is Sunday afternoon, and watch what happens here by Monday morning. This is the system associated with that strong cold front that again will usher in a very cold air mass for the northern plains, and then the leading edge of that cold air will tend to slow down as it crosses over the Mississippi Valley, the Ohio Valley. This is the wave we'll have to watch that could form a wave along that slowing down frontal system boundary zone later Tuesday night time frame. Let's keep moving forward here. This is the wave associated with the influx of colder air, but the GFS, I think it's catching on to something here, has energy kind of holding back here in the southwest. And notice this flow of air in the upper part of the atmosphere by next Tuesday, basically running from the southwest to the northeast. That is the reason why the surface cold front will tend to slow down, and it will end up being somewhat parallel to this upper level wind flow. Will not come blasting through the mid-Atlantic region Tuesday night. It'll be a slow mover, and again, that always raises the possibility of a wave of energy forming a wave of low pressure along that frontal boundary zone. And here we go by Tuesday night. This is the area of interest. At this time, we'll have this cold frontal system right around the I-95 corridor region. Colder air will be coming in. There will be some rain ahead of it for sure. Maybe 60 degrees in some spots ahead of it on Tuesday afternoon. But as the colder air arrives Tuesday night, there is a chance that a wave of low pressure forms along that slow-moving frontal boundary zone, and the rain could change to snow in the I-95 corridor, especially just to the north and west of the I-95 corridor, late Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning. We're not going to answer the question here today, but it's something we'll monitor over the next couple of days. Eventually, that wave of energy passes on by, and the colder air pours into the mid-Atlantic region by later Wednesday night, and Thursday of next week. So something we'll have to watch for, and the GFS may be picking up on something here several days ahead of the event for Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. Well, now let's take a look at the surface maps from the 0Z GFS model run, kind of underdoing the precipitation right now in the eastern third of the nation, sir. So there's a little bit more activity than what last night's run of the GFS had for this morning. Again, it tends to weaken to maybe a couple of showers in the afternoon or evening in the I-95 corridor region. Not a heavy rain event, but here is that frontal boundary zone by early evening. Ushers in a colder air mass. We'll have clearing skies after midnight in Philly, New York City, D.C., for example. High pressure takes over, and it'll be a cold weekend. May hold in the 30s in many spots, especially suburban locations along the I-95 corridor on Saturday, well below normal for this time of the year. That high, however, then tends to shift off the coast by later in the day on Sunday. And look at this isobar pattern setting up on the backside of the high. You have winds blowing out of the southwest towards the northeast. This will promote warming conditions first in the Ohio Valley on Sunday, and then into the eastern U.S. on Monday. Here we go by Monday morning. High pressure well off the coast now. More moisture will push up along the eastern seaboard. There could be showers as early as late Sunday night into early Monday morning. Maybe even an outside chance that it'll still be cold enough for some snow shower activity late Sunday night, early Monday morning. But here we go. We'll warm up into the 50s on Monday and Tuesday with a southwesterly flow of air in the upper part of the atmosphere. And here we go, some snow showing up come Monday morning across the upper part of the Midwest. That's associated with that influx of another very cold air mass. Rain could very well come down hard at times on Tuesday, just ahead of the frontal system that again is starting to slow down at this time. This is forecast map for Tuesday afternoon. Notice already changeover to snow here according to last night's GFS model run. Parts of the Tennessee Valley. That is again associated with that upper level wave of energy that kind of hangs back. Indeed, there could be a wave of low pressure that forms along this slow moving frontal system. Let's keep moving forward here. Look at that. That's some decent snow now here over the Tennessee Valley, West Virginia, eastern part of Kentucky. I think this is actually something that other models may pick up on. The Euro does not have this right now. It has more of a stretched out, strung out area of energy in the upper part of the atmosphere, therefore does not result in a wave of low pressure that forms along the frontal boundary zone. But we'll have to watch this. I think the GFS may be onto something. It even changes over to snow to the north and west of I-95 late Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning. Again, with that southwesterly flow in the upper part of the atmosphere, that cold front will be slowing down as it approaches the eastern part of the nation Tuesday night. Anytime you have a slowing down cold frontal system, there can be a wave that forms to the south and west, could end up with a rain changing to snow situation. By later Wednesday, the cold air pours into the mid-Atlantic region following the passage of whatever wave forms along that front. Much colder than normal Wednesday afternoon going into Wednesday night, and Thursday another very cold air mass for this time of the year by the middle part of next week. So we'll have to monitor this situation for Tuesday night, early Wednesday, over the next few days. Again, a slow-moving cold frontal system, and there can be a wave of low pressure that forms along that frontal boundary zone. If so, could result in a rain changing to snow situation late Tuesday night, early Wednesday. That's it for now. For PerspectiveWeather.com, I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian.